If I were starting an Etsy digital product shop from zero in 2026, I would not begin by making a random planner, uploading it, and hoping Etsy search finds it. That is how most beginners waste weeks. Instead, I would build a simple system. AI helps find and shape the product idea. Etsy becomes the storefront and validation layer. Pinterest becomes the traffic engine. In this video, I'll show the exact order I would follow. The biggest mistake new Etsy sellers make is starting with the product first. They open Canva, design something that looks nice, write a listing title, and then wonder why nobody clicks. The problem is not always the design. The problem is usually that the product was never connected to a real search behavior, a clear buyer problem, or a traffic source. So the goal is not to make more products. The goal is to build a repeatable product system. Here is the roadmap I would use. Step 1. Pick a buyer problem, not a product. Step 2. Use AI to generate product angles. Step 3. Validate demand on Etsy and Pinterest. Step 4. Create a simple, minimum viable digital product. Step 5. Package the Etsy listing like an offer. Step 6. Turn the listing into Pinterest content. Step 7. Track what gets clicks, then make the next product from data. Let's go step by step. I would start with a specific buyer problem. Not printables, not templates, not wall art. A real problem sounds like this. I need a weekly meal planner that saves time. I need a wedding budget spreadsheet that does not feel overwhelming. I need a classroom newsletter template that looks professional. I need Pinterest pin templates for my Etsy shop. The more specific the problem, the easier it is to create, title, mock-up, and promote the product. So before making anything, list buyer types and painful tasks. Teachers, brides, small business owners, moms, students, Etsy sellers, and content creators. Then pair each buyer with one task they want to make easier. Once I have the buyer problem, I would use AI to create angles. Not final products yet. Angles. Here's the prompt. Act as an Etsy digital product strategist. Give me 20 digital product ideas for this buyer type who struggles with this problem. For each idea, include the buyer outcome, why they would buy it, and how it could be promoted on Pinterest. The key is to ask AI for buyer outcomes, not just product names. A weak AI answer is, make a planner. A better answer is a Sunday reset planner for overwhelmed working moms who want to plan meals, cleaning, and weekly priorities in one printable dashboard. That is much easier to package. Before designing anything, I would validate the idea in two places. First, Etsy. Search the main keyword and look for existing listings, reviews, mock-up quality, specific titles, and weak offers you could improve. Second, Pinterest. Search the same topic and look for related searches, saved pin styles, repeated problems, and multiple content angles. If the idea works on Etsy but has no Pinterest angle, it may be harder to promote. If it works on Pinterest but not Etsy, it may need to be reframed as a product. The sweet spot is when both platforms show demand. Now, I would create the simplest useful version of the product. Not a giant 100-page bundle. Not a perfect brand. Not 20 variations. Just a clear, first version. A 5-page planner. A 10-template Canva bundle. A 1-page tracker. A spreadsheet with instructions. A printable checklist pack. The goal is to publish and learn. Use Canva for the design. Use AI to help with structure, page ideas, checklist items, instructions, and product copy. But do not let AI create a generic product with no point of view. The product should solve the buyer problem clearly. This is where many Etsy products fail. A product is just the file. An offer is the outcome the buyer wants. So instead of listing it as Printable Planner PDF, I would package it as Sunday Reset Weekly Planner for Busy Moms, Meal Plan, Cleaning Reset, Habit Tracker, and Weekly Priorities Printable. The title should say who it is for, what problem it solves, and what is included. The images should show the product in use. The description should explain the outcome, what files are included, how to use it, and who it is best for. Use AI here to draft title options, benefit bullets, FAQs, and Pinterest descriptions. This is the part most beginners skip. They publish one Etsy listing and wait. I would immediately turn that one product into Pinterest content. For one product, create pins around different angles. Problem pins. Feeling overwhelmed every Sunday? Outcome pins. Plan your week in 20 minutes. Checklist pins. Sunday reset checklist. Product pins. Show the actual printable. Educational pins. How to organize your week before Monday. Comparison pins. Before versus after weekly planning. One Etsy product should become at least 10 to 30 pins over time. That is how the product gets more discovery points instead of relying only on Etsy search. After publishing, I would track simple signals. Which Etsy listings get views? Which thumbnails get clicks? Which Pinterest pins get saves or outbound clicks? Which video topics get comments? Which product angles are easiest to explain? Then I would not guess the next product. I would make the next product based on the strongest signal. This is the loop. Research the problem, create the product, list it on Etsy, promote it on Pinterest, make content about the process, track what works, repeat. So if I were starting an Etsy digital product shop in 2026, I would not chase random passive income ideas. I would build a simple system. Start with a buyer problem. Use AI to generate and sharpen the product idea. Validate it on Etsy and Pinterest. Create the simplest useful version. Package the listing like an offer. Turn the product into Pinterest content. Track the data and repeat. If you want the prompt system for this, I'm putting together a list of 50 AI prompts for Etsy digital product sellers. Prompts for product ideas, listing titles, Pinterest pins, and product descriptions. Save this video and watch the next one, where I turn one AI prompt into a complete Etsy product bundle.